Geek Squad. Geek Squad. Geek Squad.
It's 11 minutes after 7. My name is Kobby Spiky Nkrumah, and today is the 15th of September. The show Geek Squad was supposed to be talking about the new iPhone today. Hopefully, we were very hopeful that we were going to be talking about the new iPhone, but Apple did as when we were kids, we used to say something, Setewa. Do you know Setewa? You don't know Setewa? Anyways, I'm asking Michael, Winston, and Sunshine because guess what? They're in the studio today.
Oh, I didn't know you were asking us. I thought you were asking just Sunshine.
What?
Yeah. Anyways, it's a good reunion, guys. Good to have you guys back. You, Winston, and Sunshine, of course. Yeah. Michael was here last week. So,
great to be back.
Great to be back.
So good to be back. Even I was here last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys. Winston and Sunshine, how have you guys been?
I mean, I'm always on the Zoom conversation, so I feel like
we haven't seen you in studio.
The
studio. I'm speaking on behalf of the studio.
Oh, okay. Oh, we've been alright. I've been alright.
Yeah, I'm fine as well.
So today we're not Setewa. You say you don't know what Setewa is. Hey, that has nothing to do with Setewa.
Okay, then never mind.
But you, Winston and Michael, you know Setewa.
Oh, yeah.
So you agree with me when I say Apple did a Setewa?
I mean, there were rumors that there was going to be an October event because Apple was having some production line issues in getting certain components ready. So they weren't going to release. So the rumors were that they were either just going to announce the iPhone and then release it in October. But it seems like everything is being shifted to October. So.
Michael, our resident Apple user, what's your opinion?
I mean, this whole launch was basically the presentation version of this meeting could have been an email.
Well, that's so for those of us who understand what happens in the tech world, or those of us who understand the technology. But then some people are probably watching and wondering, wow, such new features. Oh, what does it do?
You know, really thinking about what Michael just said, I mean, there's been a couple of times, I think even this year, where Apple just released products
stuff without telling anyone.
Yeah.
And this should have been one of them, right?
It really could have been one of them because this whole elaborate presentation, like.
I mean, they had to show us. It was more, Apple is used to doing their show and tell, and they had to show us what new stuff they had. They couldn't just release it because they had to explain to you why you should go and buy it.
That's what ads are for.
Yeah, ads are for telling you what it can do, but why you should go and buy it.
Played in the presentation.
Yeah.
Always, as usual.
But then, it's more convincing when someone tells you it's 2 times faster.
It's stats, bro.
4 times more powerful. When you hear that, you're convinced.
Yeah, except Steve Jobs right now is probably rotating with so much anger in his grave. He's probably what is powering that.
Why would Steve Jobs be upset?
He hated that metric. He hated going to stats and like it's 2 times as powerful. And like, no, it is simply better. Leave it at that.
So don't put a metric to it.
Don't measure. Just take it as gospel because I'm giving you something good. It is better. Buy it now and accessories later.
Okay. So listeners, if you're listening, Apple launched some new devices today.
Two doesn't count as some. Two
Well,
devices.
I have to categorize them. 2 new categories of devices. So, an Apple Watch and iPad.
And Apple One, guys, it's also a product.
It's
guys.
a service.
It's also a product.
It's a product.
It's a service that is a product.
Yeah, so 3, which makes it some. Yeah.
Do you
See?
feel you're paying for too much online services? Do
Yo.
you feel that you're streaming too much Netflix, Spotify,
No.
YouTube Red?
I know we are not
HBO,
just
Disney
jumping.
Plus.
I don't know we are just jumping, but
Let's start from the beginning.
I can't believe they made a Netflix for workouts, guys.
Let's start from the beginning. There was an Apple Watch, a new Apple Watch. Well, I'm an Android guy. I use an Android device. I don't use an iOS device, but I have to say, the Apple Watch is
Best.
by far the best
Best Apple product.
like smartwatch. Is the best smartwatch on the market.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's the
And
best smartwatch on the market.
Personally, it's the best Apple, not necessarily product, but when it comes to smartphone related products, that's Apple's best. That's
Mhm.
what Apple's best product is, probably in the MacBook.
Apple's worst,
Wait,
Best.
best.
MacBook.
Yeah. All right. All around for me personally, I think it's a
There's a lot
lot.
of MacBook users right out there, and who are very, very angry because the moment their warranty hits, then the machine decides to die like an Italian product. Just
Yeah, that's on you, man.
no, when
Planned obsolescence, man. These devices are made.
I think everyone is listen, which is where we will segue into the conversation of services. Why Apple is introducing services instead of products.
Mhm.
Now, Apple Watch Series 6.
Yeah.
We've seen a Series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's new in the Series 6?
Measuring blood oxygen levels, and I think that's the sales pitch for this year. Last year it was fall detection,
And the
the year
ECG.
was it the year? Was the year
EKG.
before the EKG?
year before was EKG.
Yeah. Then the year before that
right.
was proper heart rate monitoring.
Yeah, heart rate monitoring,
So-
EKG, fall detection, like proper fall detection. Because
yeah.
they hyped on it last year as though it was something new, but it came out with the Series 4 with the EKG device.
Does it work in Ghana though?
Does anything work in Ghana?
That's actually a very good question. Michael, you have an iPhone. We should buy an Apple Watch and push you down.
Yes, do.
Yeah, down a couple of stairs.
Yeah, then we see if the emergency services will show.
No,
Yeah.
well, yeah, our emergency service actually work.
Yeah, so because the fall
iPhone
detection,
protected.
fall detection allows you, when you fall, when it registers that you've fallen so bad and you're not getting back up, it automatically calls the emergency service.
So what if
for you.
he doesn't really fall down bad enough? We have to keep trying till he actually.
It's all for science.
Well, are you-
Wait, if you forget a couple of stairs, let's start from the top. By all means, by the time he gets to the bottom, something will happen.
Look, I got some stairs in mind. Let's do this. Get me that watch.
It's all for the watch. Trust me. Michael
Alright.
just wants the watch.
So if you're out there and you have a free Apple Watch Series 5 at least,
Yeah, you want to test the fall detection.
yeah,
We
send it
have
my way.
a subject willing to
Elaborate.
take a fall.
Very
Well, I've been watching a lot of parkour, so I know falling from, heights wouldn't really affect you if
Parkour.
you're able to parkour yourself.
I'll channel my inner Parisian
Mm.
and roll with the flow.
So, the design is pretty much the same.
Mhm.
Except the wrist,
The band.
the bands,
Yes.
which we discussed that we didn't particularly like.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't like it.
So it reminds me of every year churches sell these bands that you wear on your wrist that have a theme for the year.
Yeah.
So it's not, you can't, it doesn't have a strap that you can say stretch or
Yes.
so if you're buying that strap, let's say I'm buying it and I get it for my wrist, it means I can't give it to you, Winston.
Possibly not.
Yes, because it's a loop.
Yeah,
There's no
that's what
break
it's called,
in the
like.
middle
Yeah.
for you to be able to expand it.
Mhm.
So if I buy that strap and I increase in size, it means
So,
that
oops.
You buy
I mean,
I have
I'm
to
sure
buy a new strap.
I'm sure you can, detach it and get a new strap.
yeah, obviously you can detach it, but I'm still trying to understand the reason for that single loop strap.
I think they wanted to make it more in the sports because their Nike versions, the sports ones, the ones that they market for people who are into full-fledged sports, were kind of like that. So a few of them did have the proper
Yeah.
strap thingy, but some of them were just loopies. But I don't
Loopies,
know.
but that you
I think the
can.
loopies are a cleaner look than the little buckles.
I don't know.
Well, it doesn't
The little
necessarily have
buckles
to
can
be.
get caught
There are loopies
in
that you
things.
actually tuck in.
Yeah.
You don't buckle, you tuck them in.
To be honest,
So-
the Series 6 now looks like a glamorized fitness band
Yeah.
because of the loop.
It's always been.
I mean, it's not always been, because the funny thing we noticed that the Hermès version of
Mhm.
the Apple Watch has a regular strap.
Yes, regular leather strap.
Yeah, leather strap.
So
with
I mean, all their watches you can change, you can swap out the band.
yeah.
So, but I just don't understand why you're creating something that really would be very uncustomizable, for lack
we
of
know
a
the
better
answer.
word. Yes,
No, the answer is just to drop their carbon emissions. That's
which
it.
is something they were really pushing
Yeah.
hard during the presentation.
I mean, they did make a lot of noise about how many of their straps were made from recycled.
Yeah.
Not just the straps, a lot of the
Everything that they had
everything
manufactured
they did.
was made from recycled
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, material, aluminium and everything. So
I
yeah,
guess, yeah.
they by 2030, Apple says it wants to be zero
Carbon.
rate carbon, like no emissions whatsoever.
Yeah. Now they are
Everything is-
35%
Hmm.
from 2015, and that's one of the reasons why there's no power brick,
Yeah,
power
so
adapter in the watch box.
yeah,
So
which
it's
is something that we heard rumors about, that
Yeah.
Apple is going to start selling iPhones without a charger head. So buying your smartphone, it comes with just a USB cable, because they realize we all have charger heads lying around in our house.
fair, though.
It really is not fair.
But don't you have charger heads in your house?
But
That's not the point.
What
this
is the point?
This is a conversation. So, Michael, you're using Lightning to USB, right?
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing.
Mhm.
It's only the iPhone 11 that has
Lightning to
Type
USB-C.
C.
Yeah.
So that means that anybody prior to that making the switch does need an adapter.
Well, yeah.
Does need. This is
So you'll buy it.
So you have to buy
Mhm.
Apple's adapter, and this means that they are presuming that because you have an iPhone, you have a MacBook, because the MacBooks have had Type C adapters for a while now. So now, if you have a MacBook, you don't need an adapter, because you can just put your phone's cable into the MacBook charger and
Mhm.
charge it for you.
Until you need to charge your laptop and your phone at the same time.
You wait.
Well, yeah, or you can plug it into the laptop.
And besides, yeah, you receive
It doesn't charge
calls.
as fast.
You receive calls on your MacBook and
Yeah.
everything. You'll
So
be fine.
you'll be fine.
You'll be
It's
fine.
an ecosystem. You're locked in. Or you can receive it on your watch. Hey Siri.
Speaking about the watch,
Mhm.
one of the things that I was most impressed with this particular event was family setup.
Yes.
This
So
game of this new tech era is slowly moving from hardware to selling software or experiences,
Mhm.
services. And Apple came in really swinging, because right now, think about it. If you were a parent and you didn't want to buy a phone, a smartphone, a whole-fledged smartphone for your child, but you wanted to be able to communicate with your child at all times, you just get the Apple Watch. And thanks to family
the cellular
setup,
Apple Watch.
yeah, the cellular one, thanks to family setup, your child is connected to you at all times. Your child can receive phone calls, so
Mhm.
you get
And
him that
messages.
AirPods,
Yeah.
and then he's out here on these streets looking clean.
Stunting.
Yeah. And then because it's tied up in family setup, you know where your child is at every time, at every single point, every single day. So that was cool for me.
Hmm.
I just shivered. None of it thought that. Ugh.
So, now question: would you buy the Apple Watch Series 6 if you're an Apple user? I'm not talking to you guys, because
No, I would buy it though.
you would buy it
Yeah.
to use with.
No, I mean if I were.
If you're an Apple user, you'd buy it.
Heartbeats within a heartbeat.
Michael?
Out of the bottle.
For $399.
Oh God, I wouldn't buy that. No, because yes, it is at the very top of its game in terms of being a smartwatch. I personally don't feel. I've always had several issues with the Apple Watch. I mean, if someone gladly gave me an Apple Watch Series 5 to do a test where I fall down the flight of stairs for Geek Squad to know if the emergency services work, I'll gladly accept it and keep it. But then I have to now live with the life of what's the battery life on that thing for, give or take
A good day.
a good
day.
Or
decent
two.
day. Then charge it along. That's now something I need to charge
As
daily
well.
along with the rest of my devices.
You know, I think we should have a conversation about smartphone peripherals,
Hmm.
because that is one of the limiting factors for many people in getting smartwatches. It's one new thing to charge.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, traditional fitness chargers though generally last
Longer,
than that.
yeah.
Yes.
A friend of mine has the Mi Band, the new one,
Yeah.
and he hadn't charged it for weeks.
The Honor,
Yes.
the Honor, last year's Honor watch had a week of use. You could use it was a regular. It wasn't even a fitness band. It was a smartwatch. But it had a week worth of power on a single charge.
Was it as big as 4 sugar cubes stacked
Yeah,
together?
it's like a regular smartwatch, like every other smartwatch you see, but it had a lot, and it was possibly attributed to EMUI and the power efficiencies that they
Yeah.
had on it.
Okay.
Well, guess what? When I said "Hey Siri," I triggered someone's iPhone.
Oh.
Like when I say "Hey Google."
And
Anyway.
you done it again.
Oh yeah, sorry, whoever's phone was triggered.
Alexa.
But another thing
Wow.
is Apple announced Emoji watch faces. We forgot to mention that.
Yeah, the watch faces were actually, some of them were cool.
Yeah,
I'm not
but-
gonna lie.
Okay, so how many people customize a watch face? You know, one thing I noticed is people get stuck with the watch face that they start using the phone with the watch with, because they don't know that they can actually customize it.
No.
So whoever does it for them. So now you're giving them the opportunity to put their Memoji, which is basically an emoji animated version, 3D emoji animated version of themselves as their smartwatch faces.
It's like you're going deep. How many people change their screen, their
The wallpapers. Yeah.
wallpapers?
You know the interesting thing?
Pretty-
I haven't,
couple of days.
I haven't changed my WhatsApp background before.
Yeah,
It's still the basic
yeah,
one.
same here.
Right.
But
Why?
what's our background is deep.
No, I change that often.
Well, yeah, I think a lot
Like
of
every
females
couple
do
of
it.
weeks, at least, I would change it.
I don't. I'm going to say something that's a joke amongst us as a feminist.
Oh my goodness. How do I feel about that?
How
as
do
a
you feel
feminist?
about Kobby's statement?
This is very, very
That you
uncalled
don't
for.
love me enough. Isn't that what the thing is? If
Oh.
you don't use me as your lock screen, you don't love me enough.
Oh, is it?
Huh?
Okay, I'm gonna keep quiet.
Okay, so before we get to that, if you're listening to us, and I want to know from you, if you're an iPhone user or any smartphone user, would you get a smartwatch first of all? And if you would get a smartwatch, would you get the Apple Watch? I want you to send us a message to 0244 340 437 on WhatsApp and Telegram 0244 340 437.
You can also answer if you use your significant other as your phone wallpaper.
Or your
Really,
WhatsApp wall.
really, Michael.
Yes.
I think that'd be a conversation for February when we are talking about
February.
relationships.
That would be a very good conversation.
Yeah.
Because
So-
I don't.
Okay, and then there was an Apple Watch SE.
Yeah.
So for those who know Apple, when they do a cheaper version of the phone, they call it iPhone SE. And now there's an Apple Watch SE.
So now I'm wondering, is there going to be an iPad SE? Is there going to be a MacBook SE?
I mean,
I mean, the
it wouldn't be a bad idea.
MacBook is going to die within a generation or two anyway,
Yeah.
because it's combining with the iPad.
True.
And technically, it could easily be, it's not calling the iPad SE. It could be the iPad Air. Oh wait, they did announce that as well.
Oh
Yeah, they announced the original iPad, the iPad Air, and there's an existing iPad Pro. Now I think Apple has to do something with their nomenclature for the iPads, because it gets very confusing between the original iPad. If I tell someone that, I'm getting you an iPad, do I have to clarify I'm getting you an iPad Air, an iPad Pro, or an iPad?
The average person doesn't even know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
don't
what the
care.
difference is.
So someone says, get me an
There's
iPad,
even
gives you
an
money.
iPad Mini, right?
Yeah, there is an iPad mini. That at
Doesn't
least
that
is,
look like one of the Samsung tablets?
that looks different. You know, it looks different because it's
No,
smaller.
like the really small ones that people use as phones.
Yeah, slightly bigger.
Like-
bigger.
Yeah, slightly bigger. So the iPad, original iPad, over the generations has barely changed, and we saw that today. We're expecting a change in the design,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't change.
No.
The iPad Air changed, began to look like the iPad Pro,
Yes.
except now it has colors.
Mm-hmm.
What you called
Like the SE.
Oh yeah, Mystic Bronze.
rose gold. So there was a rose gold and the blue and the green. I like the blue. The blue was really
I like the
attractive.
green one.
I think the focus is to, why did that, you being an agriculturist, just trigger why you choose green? Anyways,
It's his favorite color.
see, the iPad Air and its multiple colors seems to be targeted at children who will be learning from home. Because why then would you make multiple colors?
True.
Because they did also push the agenda of how children are now, at home studying and how they are using their tools to do stuff. So I do see this as, but wouldn't you expect that they would use the original iPad for children rather than the iPad Air, which now has A14, the A14 Bionic, whereas the original iPad has what, the A12?
I really don't know what the purpose of the original iPad is anymore, especially because of the changes in the processors.
Right.
Which means that the iPad Air is an air quotes better device than the original.
Than the original iPad.
Wow.
Which is why I was suggesting that should be for
because the
ones.
Air brand is supposed to be like light version of whatever. For
when the Air was introduced, it was supposed to be the luxury one, the luxury item, the accessory. Because everybody see you with the ultra thin MacBook Air, and that was the thing. Then all of a sudden, the Air became
lightweight.
Yeah,
Air.
just Air.
Literally.
And now we have iPad Air. So, well, I've got a question. Someone has answered. Jay in the Telegram group says, "No, I won't get a smartwatch because I can't afford them." Oh, okay. If you could afford them, would you? And hi guys, how does the Apple Watch compare with the Huawei Watch? I hear that's also good. So,
Okay, so the Huawei Watch typically has better batteries in terms of how long it lasts. And I think the last I checked, it was about 2 days minimum. It could hit you about 2 days of use. So that's about the only major distinction. When it comes to features and everything, yes. The thing is that there are many other smart watches that have these features, but not a lot of them have had them approved by the necessary bodies or the bodies in charge, like the EKG, the heart rate monitors and everything. Apple's plus is that this has been approved by the bodies governing these things, so it provides a lot more credibility to them. So depends on why you are getting a smartwatch. To be honest, the Apple Watch, that's what I keep saying. For me, it's the best smart-based device that Apple makes.
Someone's asking, what does SE mean? Michael.
Special edition.
I saw that coming.
Does it really mean special?
Yeah, if it's cheap, why would it mean special?
Okay, wait. That does call to Samsung makes the fan edition, and that's a slightly
actually it does mean special edition.
Yeah,
but why?
When it's cheap.
How special is it?
Especially cheap.
Yeah,
specially priced.
I
guess
said something very offensive, but so I apologize. Even though I've not said it.
So you imagine saying, hey, I was an Android lover until January 2019. Now I am using the 11 Pro Max, a MacBook Air, an Apple Watch Series 5, and I am loving every bit of it. That's from Ama Abokuma. Oh wow,
that's
you? Yeah, she's fallen. She's fallen for Apple.
She's
wow.
fallen for the ecosystem. That's the truth.
Bro, you can't match it. There's no ecosystem that matches the Apple ecosystem.
And you heard that line.
That from Spiky. I beg to differ.
Okay.
I beg to differ.
Okay.
Because, and everybody knows where my stance is, but I am a Samsung fan, and the reason why I think Samsung's ecosystem is better is because there's a lot more in that ecosystem. TVs, ACs, fridges. There's so much more going on in that ecosystem that would affect me on a daily basis more than just my laptop, my watch, and my phone.
Well, because these are things that people actually use. I don't remember. Okay, no, that would be speaking for me. But I can tell that if someone had a smart fridge and a smart TV, they wouldn't really be part of the ecosystem until they were geeky enough.
Yeah, because there's that. The thing that Apple
some people
has,
use TVs for just TV sake.
The thing that Apple has
watch
is
TV,
that
done.
It just works.
Yes,
you don't need.
You don't need to set exact, which is why I said it's the best ecosystem. Because if you have an Apple TV, let's just say Apple made a television like Samsung does. Apple made a fridge like Samsung does. if you brought that fridge to your house and you plugged it in, your watch would say, "Hi, I've noticed you brought an Apple fridge," and your smartphone would also be like, "Add fridge to network, yes or no." You say yes, and it does everything in the background.
I feel like this is a conversation we should have another time, because this also ties into some of the statements Apple made, the statistics. They were like, the iPad is 6 times better than the latest Chromebook.
I wrote it down.
4 times better
because it was very interesting.
Than what was it?
So it is
4 times better than Android.
2 times faster than a Windows laptop.
Yes.
3 times faster than an Android tablet, and then 6 times faster than a Chromebook.
Which Windows laptop are they talking about?
Obviously not mine.
Just throwing like random.
Obviously not mine, because
Yeah.
I don't see any.
Not even your old laptop.
No, we don't have to bring that one in. So it's like David and
we can't
Goliath.
bring it in. It wouldn't fit into the studio, but look, it's still up there.
Thank you very much.
As compared to your new laptop, how many years old is it?
My new laptop.
Yeah.
It's just a year old. It's not even a year old. It's a couple of
Maybe a year
months
older
old.
than it.
Yeah.
Right? And both of them blaze so far ahead of that. But I mean, granted, we can barely call your old laptop a laptop, but technically,
Michael stays taking shots at the Acer Predator 21. There were only 300 that were made.
Yes.
Put some respect on that
yeah,
machine.
if they manufactured anymore,
The tilt of the earth
The
would
tilt.
be
would
affected.
shift.
And then flat earthers would, think they were right.
Anyway.
He is planning on buying it again, though.
Yes, I
Really?
am.
Why?
I miss it. So, moving on swiftly. Hi, good evening. I'm going to mute your mic. Thank you very much. Hi, good evening. I'm Kojo Dignity from Adan. I want to know, do you think 2 to 4 years Apple products will still be on top of other products? Okay, he's asking you, Michael. Because, he put Michael.
Apple yes, I still believe so.
Yeah.
I
I do agree.
We can level a lot of criticism at Apple, and we can sit here and play the game up and down on this tennis field of conversation. But for how many years? Ever since they came out with the original iPhone, Apple have always been at the top of conversation, and not because they've been throwing out claims that they can never back up. One thing you can always guarantee with Apple, and that they are still continuing to do, everything they say they can do, or everything they have promised,
they deliver.
No, I know where you're going. Winston's giving me a very, very suspicious
Continue your statement.
Yes, and I know exactly what he's talking about. But they did come out and say that no, we can't do it anymore.
Do you know you just confused our listener with how you just segued from? Back up. Winston, let him finish. Stop shaking.
No. I totally agree with you that Apple will be at this trajectory. Apple will be at the top.
2 to 3 years is probably not enough.
2 to 4 years.
4, 5.
2 to 4 years is actually more than enough, because with the way it's a conversation.
Well, okay, finish.
It's a conversation Kobby and I have, and it's a conversation for a whole show. To be honest, is that right now the tech game is moving from hardware to software to services, and Apple provides that seamlessness that we love. So in the seamlessness and the ease of use, it means that technology is getting more complicated, and Apple is just simplifying every step for you. So
on the surface level.
On the surface
level. Because you go deeper and it gets extremely complicated.
The general public are surface level users.
Which is why your springboard, which is where your icons are on your iPhone, has not changed in years. And even with tomorrow's updates, it's just a very slight change. Adding widgets.
Yeah.
Someone asked me last week, what are widgets? Because they've been hearing that iPhones are going to be getting widgets. Now, trust me, I've had a hard time trying to explain widgets on an iPhone.
Yeah, it is kind of hard to explain. Although, the funny thing, widgets have been on iPhone for years.
In a notification bar.
Yeah, but nobody knows a notification bar. It's a funny thing.
So, hi, Kobby Spiky. I used to be a die-hard iPhone lover, and so you said on Joy Super Morning Show last week that iPhones can be flashed at Circle in just 15 minutes. I suddenly lost all my trust in iOS. That's Kelly from Osu. Well, I didn't lie.
Can't lesser time be given to answer?
Well, I was being very generous with the time frame.
As in, if
did you include the time to download the iOS file to do the flashing?
Wait, I don't know what flashing is.
Okay, so if you have a problem with your phone sometimes and you can't access, your phone is freezing or something, you have to reinstall the OS on the phone. Now, to do that, we have a process we call flashing. where you just flash, because it's actually flash storage. So you're installing the OS on the flash storage. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. That's it. Ladies
Why
and
is that
gentlemen, this
such
is
a
why
bad
we have
thing?
Sunshine in the studio all the
Why is
time.
that such a bad
Okay,
thing?
so the difference between Flash and installing any other thing on your phone, when you install an app, that sits on top of your OS. Your OS is the baseline. This is what your phone actually needs to run. This is what operates everything from your Wi-Fi to your calls, even providing a space for your apps to run and do whatever it is you want to do. That is your OS. That shouldn't be easy to change or
to even
reflash,
alter.
unless you are doing an upgrade, which iOS also make very easy. When they download it in the background, then it tells you, oh, tonight you have a new OS being installed, which likely is going to happen over the next few days for a lot of users. You have a new iOS. When you plug in your phone, it will automatically update. Do you accept this? Yes, no, moving on. Then Spike has gone to muddy the waters.
Wait, what did I do? I just told the truth. People can remove clear iOS, the activation lock, which was how Apple prevented stolen phones from being used again. So if you have an iCloud signed in on your device and you don't sign out and you give it to someone and the person just wiped the phone, it would ask for that username and password. Same with Android. But Androids were easier to bypass. It's called FRP lock. So you could easily, and the tutorials are online. But Apple has been very difficult over time until some hackers, they were doing it, but they were not making it public. Reasons unknown to us. And suddenly, now you can just pay people.
I think it got leaked.
To do it?
And now people can do it. And there are a few hackers I follow on Twitter, and we tried it, and it works.
It's always funny how people talk about hacking being what you see on films or someone
behind the black and green screen, typing.
And the whole reason this thing happened was simply because it was done and exhibited as a proof of concept that look at what we can do. But then because some of them had an argument, so somebody just got angry and it's like, okay, fine, and then releases it into the wild. That's how it gets out.
So Sammy says, if you like tech and you don't get Apple Watch, wait till you gain. He says SE is special edition. It's not for cheap people. Average Android users don't see it as cheap. SE is for pre-rich people.
Pre-rich.
Like before you become rich and buy an actual iPhone, you thank you very much.
I like that. So
pre-rich.
So the Porsche Cayman of smartwatches. Yes, because you can't afford the full one.
I think Porsche Cayman is actually very quite high up the food chain. But then
you mean
again,
you got the Cayman because you couldn't get the
911 Turbo S.
Oh, okay.
Still not pre-rich.
It's quite pricey,
So good evening, Spiky. I'm an iPhone user and I'm finding it difficult downloading WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, and others. It always tells me to upgrade to iOS 9 or later. Done that, but still, please help. Jennifer Senaja from Kaswa. So
this seems weird because if it tells you to upgrade and you've done that and it still isn't working, then you possibly have maybe a space issue, or you might even need to go higher because iOS 9 is actually kind of quite far back.
Yeah, tomorrow's iOS 14.
And there's also a thing where if you hit the limit,
well, we need to know which iPhone it is.
Yes.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah.
But if you hit the limit of installing an iOS onto that device, it will tell you, install the new version, but the new version doesn't exist for
your device.
So you'll be stuck in an endless loop. So it could possibly be that.
Okay, so we've got other messages. Sese says, I would get a smartwatch because I feel like it would make owning a phone easier. And Jay says, okay, yes, I would get one if I could afford it. I mean, who doesn't want to look like they know what the cool kids are about? So someone, his name is actually someone. Someone says, okay, so for a non-iPhone user, what do you guys recommend as the best smartwatch to get? And then KK comes to respond, Huawei. And then someone says,
Galaxy Watch 3. Personally,
I'm using Watch 2.
Yeah, using Watch Active 2.
Yeah, Watch Active 2.
Yeah,
I'm just heartbroken. Anytime someone asks me that, I just get heartbroken all over again.
No, because that rotating bezel
is everything
as compared to the
touch.
dial.
The dial,
is a totally different experience. The rotating bezel for interfacing with a smartwatch is one of the smartest things that Samsung has done. It makes it much easier, and it's a natural thing. Remember when we were younger, you buy
Yeah.
your G-Shocks and all
And you
that
could
thing.
rotate it.
So it was our, back then, those were our fidget spinners, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because you just sit in class and create.
No,
Those
back,
were good times.
back in the day, a pen was a fidget spinner. Like
I mean, everything.
As a student, anything was easy to distract you with.
So Mubarak Ahmed from the University of Nottingham says all Apple products are just overrated and overpriced. I personally don't like them. Well, I think that's a very
strong word. Overpriced, yeah, it tends to feel that way, but you need to understand that paying for the brand and the
you're paying Apple tax.
the marketing.
Yeah.
Because that marketing ain't cheap.
No.
So you have to pay for all of that.
Okay, so it's an iPhone 4.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jennifer,
you
well,
hit
that's
the limit. That's it.
yeah.
You're done.
You're done. You can't go further than that. You'd have to upgrade the phone.
You can. So, but here's the thing: you don't necessarily need to jump straight to the latest iPhone.
Yeah. Get a 6.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
Even a 5S will
Wait.
last you.
Or an
as long.
SE that looks like the
But
5.
if she's going to buy a new one, I think she should just buy an 8. Because the 6 is going to get obsolete,
Yes.
I think, after the
That's
14.
definitely.
Or the
So,
SE that looks like the 5.
Yeah, the
because
SE2.
that came, no, the SE1.
Okay.
The first SE.
no,
that's
no,
still-
So the next XE is way better because she also needs to future-proof a little bit.
Mm.
To be sure that
So
Oh,
she
we're
will
speaking
last.
like we know her budget.
Well,
I mean, that's true.
like
So-
we said, for the pre... Oh, no, like, who said? For the
yeah,
pre-rich.
like Sammy said,
Yeah,
for the pre-rich.
So she should. It be hype. Like, it will make you man you. We out here. It's very funny.
I know
but
what you're about to talk about, but we're not going to go there. We still need to talk about the iPad and
What's there
Apple
to talk
One.
about, to be honest?
The fact that the 8th generation iPad has an A12 Bionic. The Apple iPad Air has an A14 Bionic, and we're pushing the neural engine. And you and I saw an app that was very interesting, Pixelmator.
Bro, I was
Right.
so hurt that was
It was not an Android. Yeah. So 1 for the Apple team. I'm sure if we had an applause right now, we'd be giving a round of applause to the
Yeah.
Apple team. You guys have a great ecosystem. You have great apps. You have great devices, and you have an app that Winston really, really wants, but he can never get.
But do you know the
yet.
interesting thing? This is just a random segue, but you know the Huawei chips, the Kirin processors, have a lot of neural engine capabilities.
Yes, they
and
do.
Pixelmator was saying that the neural engine capabilities of the A12, the A14,
14, yeah.
what is the reason why they are able to use the app on that? And with how many OS now being officially a thing?
You're jumping 2 episodes of Geek Squad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That it's a good segue. I just think it's interesting.
So it's a leak.
Yeah.
It's a leak to the next couple of episodes of Geek Squad. Yes, thank you very much. But we will have this conversation later on, and we'll talk about some parts of other OSs. Today is an Apple day. You know, an apple a day.
Keep the Samsung life.
I would like to tell the story of that an apple a day saying, but it could take some time.
Thank you very much, and we don't have a lot of time.
Just know
so
that was propaganda.
Everything is
to sell
propaganda.
apples.
It was actually to stop the American markets from turning
Okay,
apples into
yes.
cider and to actually eat apples.
So, Apple products are not overpriced. Unisika osikotumri mamut. I mean, the messages people are sending, this is crazy.
Is it a Telegram group?
Yeah. And so Dornu says, a note to everyone, buy iPhones with 64 gigs and above if you want space for your stuff, because iOS takes up a lot of space these days. And Kofi responds and says, right, backups alone.
Wait, have they? Do they make anything less than 64 gigs
No,
anymore?
64. So
There used to be a 32
it used
and a
to be
16.
32, then they skipped the next 64 and then went to 128. Now you're doing 64 at their smaller size. Skipped 128 and now doing 256 and 512.
I still think 64 is unfair in this current.
Oh, it's entirely unfair because
Considering that
they've
you can't
proven-
upgrade it.
They've proven
can't
that
expand
you
it.
can have and 128 gig or whatever as the minimum, but they want to put that 64 and you say like, okay fine, let me cheap out, and they'll squeeze you and let you know,
Because that
when you're-
256
when you're
gigabytes on
coming
the
with an
Samsung
Apple,
for the
you don't cheap
minimum
out.
is sweet.
It's a lot. though.
Very sweet.
Oh, it is very sweet.
Yeah.
It is very sweet.
Well, I've got a message here from Rule St. James. He says, I'm currently using the iPhone XS Max and the Apple Watch Series 4. If I want to move to any Android, which devices should I move to? And which pair, your discretion, would beat them? And within the same price range.
price range of which?
Of XS Max and
10S
Apple Watch Series 4.
Which
10S Max,
smartphone
yeah.
would I?
Asus ROG.
Come on, man.
Maybe the ROG phone too.
Nah, I will probably recommend, because we are taking into consideration the price of the 10S Max today. I'll probably recommend a OnePlus 8.
That was a very awkward silence. I think everybody was thinking
like
how
very
that.
similar.
And what smartwatch would you
I thought
recommend with that?
Pixel 4a.
Which smartwatch?
With smartwatch,
Yeah.
Watch Active 3, because the
You
starts
do
at
realize that Samsung smartwatches work better with Samsung devices.
True.
Like answering
but
phone
OnePlus
calls.
is now about to release their smartwatch this year, actually, with the 8 Pro.
Right.
Or is it the 80? Yeah, with
And
the 80
in the
Pro.
meantime, Samsung watches are a better alternative.
But to be honest, if you just stick to your Apple, bro, just stick there, just stay there. Because if you come, then you can't be complaining that why did I? And
Apple users really do that.
really
They
be do
switch and then they
complain.
come complain. Well, why did you switch then?
just stay. Okay?
So, Na says she would absolutely, definitely get the Apple Watch. Just sick of, I want to look expensive. That's now mile 7. So, hi guys, what about iPhone 10 for a first-time iPhone user? That's Baron from Tishi.
Absolutely, that's
Perfect.
a very good idea,
Yeah.
Baron.
So, Geek Team, Thank you, Michael. I'm getting confused about smartwatches. What makes a watch smart? Time and what features? That's from Sam in Tabora. So, I can speak for myself. When I go to sleep, my smartwatch actually tracks my sleep. So when I wake up, it tells me if I slept deep, if I slept light, how much
do you even know
movement.
what deep sleep is?
Yeah, it
Like-
gives me deep.
No,
what do you
I
think
know,
is sleep?
I know what it is. Tells me REM sleep and everything. So I know how many hours I slept, and it records it over a period of time, so you can tell the trend. And I'm using sleep as an example because it's one thing that I lack, and I really, really track. So anytime I sleep, I want to know how much sleep, I had. And then it also tracks your workouts. If you're an active person, you want to stay healthy, it checks your heart rate, your blood oxygen levels.
Now.
Now,
Mine
No,
was
yours does, yours does.
yes. Don't
Yes,
take
Samsung
my.
had that
Please,
feature.
sorry.
Wow. They even
3
had
years
it on
ago.
the Note 9. I
Yeah.
remember the Note 9 actually had
could check
the
it.
phone itself had that.
that's
And
actually a popular saying by Android users, that iPhone always brings something up and they're like, oh, we're doing this new thing, but then like Android's been doing it already and it's literally not like
Audio breakers.
news.
So what it is with Android and Apple is, Android is like social media. It breaks the news, and then Apple is like your official traditional media that will verify it and tell you
Yeah.
that these are the facts. So Apple will an Android will tell you that, hey, 128 gig, 256 gig, and you're probably like, yeah, that's too much information. And Apple comes and tells you 5,000 songs, 20,000 movies on your, so that is more relatable. So pretty much
I feel
that's
like
why.
Android tries it and Apple does it.
That's also fair.
That's also fair.
Not really, if you
Yeah, which is why
Why
I
not?
paused. But then, yeah,
Just let's not argue.
let's not
about
argue
But
about
anyway,
it.
that's where smartwatches start. As I tell in the time, they track certain things about your body.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some take it a bit further, and then it starts to go up from there.
Hmm.
They analyze. They don't just track and tell you this is what your body is doing to varying degrees. It also tells you, oh, this is how you can better yourself. Now, Apple Watches have for a time always had activity time zones. So you notice you are not being healthy enough, stand up, do some stretches, drink
Yeah.
some water, sort of thing. And then now you can do phone calls with them. You can read your messages with them, so on and so forth. Like it's just an upward trend in capability and ability with them.
So, geeks, please stop disliking Apple. I've been all Apple products since 2011. I've never regretted. My MacBook still works good. Diversion question. Hi, geeks. Is that an app for our kids to learn some of our local languages like I can? Some of us in diaspora need it for our kids. Ike in the USA. So, Ike, first off, myself, I've been an Apple boy from childhood. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to use the first Macintosh, the black and white, until I switched. Yeah, and I switched not because Apples are not awesome, just because I became a geek. But then we need to find an app that can help kids learn local languages.
I mean,
in the
It'd be
diaspora.
nice if, what's it, Duolingo had more like diversity in terms of local
So
languages.
someone should start it.
Please,
That could be.
diversity that you are seeing. That's what
In
the
terms
diversity.
of local languages in certain countries.
Yeah, you are not the target. Sorry.
It's true.
You are not the target.
Well, actually, I am the target, which is why I don't need those ones.
Okay, but I think the app, it will be tough to get such an app on the App Store. The
App
Apple
Store will
Store.
be difficult.
It will be very difficult.
Apple's rules for
yeah.
entry in there are
I
extreme.
extreme.
So it won't be impossible, but it may
It won't
just be
Yeah, it will be
a couple of hurdles.
But on Android, bro, just type a country in
You're
there.
hating on Apple again.
What? No, no, it's not hating. It's the truth, because Apple has a lot of scrutinizing steps. It's actually quite difficult to get something. Who is going to face all of Apple's criteria for an app and make an app only for a car?
Well, it could be an app that could teach local languages in Ghana, for instance. So it could not only be
or it
limited
could
to
connect you to people who can teach you those local languages.
That'd be strange.
Because I feel like it's better for a person to teach you those kinds of languages than an app.
Well,
To
think
be
about
honest-
the availability of the person too.
No, and that makes it an even greater hurdle, because now you've added a feature which is highly security oriented.
Well, yeah.
And
and
Apple
you even
is
have
not going to give you any leeway because you are in Ghana and you don't have money to do everything.
And that brings me to my question. I know there's a thing on Androids where if you have, there are certain apps that are not in the Play Store.
You could
and
sideload them.
Yes. Like you could go on a website and get it. Does Apple, like the Apple iOS, allow that?
No,
forget.
without great difficulty.
Forget it.
But yeah, like Apple will officially no. Officially, no.
Officially.
Unofficially.
Unofficially, it's
Unofficially,
possible.
there are ways and means to
It's
do
hard.
anything you want.
What's that race that they go on the Olympics that you go over hurdles, go through water?
Is it a decathlon?
No.
No.
When they're going around
I think it's a steeplechase.
the steeplechase for human beings.
Where you have to jump. A steeplechase where you have to jump over.
Yeah.
hurdles.
Different obstacles.
Yeah.
Obstacle course.
Ah,
you
the
know?
Iron
Well,
Man.
and
It's not
American Ninja, guys.
the Iron Man one. But that's the
Yeah.
thing with Apple.
So that,
they're
yeah,
supposed
to do
do
something
all
like
of
that.
those things just to get to the finish line.
And they'll tell you that you lost.
That's just sad.
No winners today. Everybody go home.
Okay. So finally, we've got just 3 minutes to go. Final words.
Let's talk about Apple One quickly.
Yeah.
So Apple is creating a subscription-based service.
Yep.
$29.99 for the premium,
Mhm.
and you get Apple TV, you get Apple News, you get Apple Fitness Plus.
You don't get Apple News. You get Apple Music, Apple TV.
You get everything on,
Don't
the, on
you
the
get
master
Is
one.
the
Yeah,
master
the
one? You're
29.
talking about the master one. Okay. You're not talking about the pre-rich.
Oh, I'm not talking about pre-rich. No, we are not doing that here.
We're not pre-rich.
Yeah, but so basically, I think the question for everyone to think about tonight is that would you pay $10 for a workout subscription? Because that's what Apple is charging for fitness.
Yeah, for Fitness Plus.
No.
Where they will show you how to work out. YouTube.
You
Games
watch
Plus.
That's what I'm
YouTube
gonna say,
videos. I mean, no, you
YouTube.
watch videos that are
synced with your watch.
created
Yeah.
and synced with your watch to get you to work out. And yeah, you pay a subscription fee. So every month you're
Every
paying to work out and then keep working out.
Disney
I
Plus.
mean, there
Yama.
are gyms that take a lot, like there are gyms and like trainers that take a lot more money than that. So if you're gonna put it that way,
you have to
it's
buy
a good
equipment.
deal.
Yeah. Or
The
you can
gym-
or you
No,
can
that's
wake
if you're
up.
going to the gym. If you're going to the gym, you don't have to buy. You just
But-
subscribe.
Yeah, but like it's basically your personal trainer.
Well,
For
so
$10, that's a good deal.
Or wake up
I don't
at 4
think
a.m.
so.
and go jogging at the
Personal
at the
trainer, that's a good deal. There are
You're
lots of
talking like pre-rich. You know, wake up and go
we are
jogging.
talking about
Nah,
local
what-
guys. Cats back on the kinky.
no,
Let's
that's not
just
the
do
thing
that.
that's gonna happen in Ghana.
Oh,
Okay.
We apologize for the blasphemy from Winston over there.
Thank you
Yes,
very much.
We do not condone.
Now,
such
no,
talk.
but trust me, a lot of people are going to buy these devices regardless of how much they cost, regardless
Oh,
of
yeah.
the features they've come with. They really don't care.
I'm
All they
just
care
waiting-
about is it's got an Apple badge.
Yeah, I'm waiting for next month when the iPhone 12s come. That's
Fingers
crazy
crossed.
stuff.
If
if
it comes.
if
But last words. You can check us out on Control IT on Facebook if you want to hear more tech stuff
or
from us.
see.
Yeah.
It's fun.
CTRL.it.
Yeah, on Facebook, so you can, and then you can drop your questions. Maybe we'll talk about it and all that.
Yep, and we're still doing a giveaway this month. We're giving out Huawei Y8P. So follow me on social media at The Real Spiky, and comment your 2 favorite features about the phone, and tag 2 people, and hashtag Joy Geek Squad. We're the only ones that dash you a phone after a show every single month. Believe
also
it.
count Dash in that Series 5.
Yeah, so shout out to my guys at Ash Motors, Razak and Samuel and Lloyd. You guys have been listening. Ruth and James, Sammy, everyone who commented. I'm Kobby Spiky Nkrumah, and I'm out.